Smell me like a Hellcat.
Hello boys and girls, welcome to my channel. I'm Angel PT, and today we have here one of the most awaited videos from my users, which is the Forza Horizon 3 running on my desktop. So this is the demo version, it's available on the Windows Store, you can download it, it's 20 gigabytes. So Forza Horizon was developed by Turn 10 and it's making use of their in-house engine, which I believe it's called Forza Engine. So to start on, I'm very sorry for this being in Portuguese, but that is related with the region of the Windows, and the game is now in Portuguese, so I'm very sorry with it, but I will translate to you. So I'm using 1080p with the motion blur on. All the settings are on medium with the exception for the textures, because this game uses a lot of VRAM, and if I put the textures on medium, what is really going to happen is sometimes I receive some stuttering. And with that stuttering, I mean stuttering, for example, like 1 or 2 seconds the game stops, and I don't think that is very good. But it wasn't really often, but it really appeared, and let's imagine that I was racing an important race and suddenly that appeared, and well, yeah, completely sorry for the language, but fuck shit up. So let's talk a little bit about the performance. So since this is a new WP format, I can't really register the frame rate. I know that AMD Release Action do it, and the X4 too, but I don't really own those softwares, and well, I think you trust me anyway, so I will tell you. So with these medium settings, which I have the textures on low and without MSAA at 1080p, what I get in the race that you are going to see a little bit more front on the video, a little bit more forward, what I was getting was between 25 to 40 FPS, okay, with those settings. So it's nothing that I personally enjoy. I don't go below 30 FPS on a racing game, it's a little bit complicated, but I understand. The race is raining and it's making sun at the same time, and you are racing a bunch of people. So it's normal that the game just, you know, go below 30 FPS. But anyway, if you decided to go with the recommended settings of the game, which is the low settings, you are not going to lose too much of the graphics. I mean, you are going to notice a lot of popping, and the reflections update of the car will be very slow, which is something that really bothers me the most. But if you use, for example, the automatic settings of the game, it will put you to the low settings, but it will not have too much popping because it really puts a lot of density on the grass to compensate the frame rate. I'm not sure how the thing works, but I really like it, the recommended settings. I mean the automatic settings of the game, the automatic optimization of the game is quite good, to be honest. But let's talk about the frame rate on the low settings. The low settings, the frame rate for me was between the 25 and the 50 FPS. So one of the major complainings of the game was that the game was using one core or the core 0 at the maximum, and the others were resting. Well, for me things are pretty much okay. All the cores are using between the 70 to 90%. I wasn't having any bottleneck at all. The GPU was always at the 99 or 100%. And the main problem was the RAM usage. The game was using 7 GB to 7.1 GB, which is pretty much. I believe that this game could benefit from 16 GB of RAM, but I'm not going to upgrade it, and I don't know if that was going to make any difference on the frame rate, okay? So everything seems pretty much okay, but this is the type of game that you are not going to play on the highest settings or on the high settings without having a buttload of stuttering and a buttload of drops of frame rates even below the 20s, okay? But don't get it wrong, what you are going to see is medium, and the low settings are not very different from what you are seeing, and which is quite good. If you put me in front of a monitor with the low settings and another one at the medium, the only difference that I'm going to notice is maybe on the car reflections and maybe just on the popping of the grass. So it's barely noticeable, the difference between the two settings for me, okay? So with that concludes my talking here a little bit about the video. I'm going to let you enjoy a little bit of the rest of the video. If you are waiting for the Forza Horizon video of my GT 740M, that might require you to wait a little bit longer, because I'm not sure if the game is damaged or not on my laptop, but the game just crashes every 1 minute and 1 minute, and I'm not sure what the hell should I do now to put the game to work. So yeah, my desktop video is working great. Okay, so hope you enjoy the rest of the video and hope to see you soon. Oh, and by the way, if you don't notice the FPS counter already, the FPS counter is on the upper right corner. Sometimes it's hard to see, but it's there. Okay, so guys, again, thank you much for watching until now. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video and hope to see you soon. Goodbye.
Se vê monte de carros japoneses por aqui. Não como esse, é claro.
Olá, Pedro. Esta é uma corrida de circuito. Rota inteira de asfalto, número determinado de voltas. Bem simples, né? Certo. As pessoas querem ver você correr, então vamos começar com uma corrida de exibição única.